Hi, this is Phil Jadeborg, the PJ and PJ Networks, and I have asked our Chief Information Security Officer, Matthew Griffith, to give us a walkthrough of the portal-based compliance manager software that we use to help manage our CMMC compliance engagements for our clients. So with that, I am going to yield the microphone over to Matthew. Thank you, Matthew.
Hi, everybody. So here, as you'll see, we go to cmmccompliancemanager.com to really dive into this. Now, when we're in here, this is the website that it redirects you to. You will have the ability to add users, add roles for various members of your organization that you deem have a fit to do CMMC compliance work for you. Now that is also very important because there is a lot of confidential information that will be stored in here over time, and you might not want everybody to have the same level of access to that confidential information. When you go into the compliance manager and you go all the way down to your individual client site, you'll see that there's two standards and controls that need to be met for CMMC. We have CMMC 2.0 Level 2, and we have NIST 800-171A. The one thing I like to tell everybody is there's not a lot different between these two. In fact, there's almost nothing different between them, but we do both because CMMC 2.0 is what you'll be getting your C3PAO assessment on, and NIST 800-171 is just the foundation for those controls. So eventually we'll be removing this way later on in your compliance journey, but for now we want to make sure that we are meeting both and completing all necessary requirements. Here you have your policies and procedures tab. Inside of your policies and procedures, this is a in-depth overview of your incredible amount of CMMC knowledge base. I know it says generate policies and procedures, but this is just a knowledge base. Your policies and procedures are right here. All of these items here. These are generic preset policies and procedure templates. They all have gone through and passed a CMMC inspection, but that won't be all of the policies that will be needed throughout the process. There will be some where we stumble into them and we're like, none of these just fit what we need them to fit. We're going to go ahead and create our own policy or procedure documentation. In this, we have our rapid baseline assessment. Our rapid baseline assessment is the very start. The first probably 20 to 40 hours of the engagement will be spent inside of the rapid baseline assessment. In here, we'll be going through and just identify. It'll be a quick question and answer based. Do you know all your authorized users? Yes, we do. Do you have those written down in a document somewhere? Yes, we do. We'll upload that document here, and then we'll be verifying it against your, I was just seeing if the next one was verify. We'll be verifying that against what you have in Azure. If both of those match, we will take a screenshot of what you have in Azure, and we will also put that in here in our files. We can also assign work to users. So let's say we stumble into a question that you guys are like, I just don't know the answer to. You can assign that to me. Or let's say I do the technical aspect of one of the questions. I have everything set up in Azure properly, but I need you guys to write a policy for it. I can then assign that to you guys, and you will go ahead and take care of it. From there, we have our data collection. So for data collection, we have our LAN scan, which does the scan of your entire network, grabs as much information as possible. We'll do a computer scan of every computer that it can see on your network. We have a cloud scan, does the same exact thing, but inside of the cloud. So if you have Microsoft, if you have M365, Azure, it'll scan that entire Azure tenant and suite. Discovery agent scan. So this is like, let's say our LAN scan comes back with computers that can't really be found. We'll launch a discovery agent scan, and if that doesn't work, then we'll launch a computer scan on all of the computers that were not scanned. That will then lead into our technical review. Our technical review basically takes all of the information that it compiles from your entire network and puts it into worksheets. These worksheets will then be gone through and we'll be verifying every detail. This computer has 37 applications on it. These are the 37 applications. Do we agree with all of those applications? What I just mentioned, that process right there is about 5 or 6 different requirements in and of itself, and that'll be one worksheet that'll just knock out 6 requirements once it's complete. There's also other worksheets that develop. Some are network-based, some are cloud-based, etc. They just ask questions. You go through, you verify yes or no, and you move on. If it's no, we'll double back and try to figure it out and get it and get that squared away. So then they all are yeses at the end of the day. Next, we have our controls assessment. So this happens after the RBA. RBA is rapid baseline assessment. It's just that, it's rapid. We go through it, it's a yes or it's a no. It's a no, and it's not easy to do at the moment. We'll push it off to the controls assessment. So by the time we get down here to the controls assessment, instead of being 650 questions, we'll probably be down to about 200 to 300 questions at this point. We'll have a lot of yeses from policy or from the RBA, just from basic policies and procedures being done, basic technical work being done, like authorized users. At this point, we should be done with authorized users. This question won't be on here. Our technical review will also help knock out a lot of these, as will the data collection. The data collection takes care of like, I think 80 or 90 questions just right away. And once you have some of your worksheets done, or if they are already done because your network is pretty secure and you don't have a lot of unauthorized applications in it, it can take up 200 questions off the board right away. That's huge. So the controls assessment is where we take more time and we hit the granular details here. Go through all the questions that are remaining, identify authorized users, we verify that, we upload files, we upload screenshots, we prove that all of our authorized users are identified and that there are no users that are not identified inside of our network. And other items as well, but that's down here in the requirements assessment. Because I know you're like, wait, that's not 3.1.1, that you are correct. This is 3.1.1a. So inside of the controls assessment and in the RBA, it breaks it down to make it very easy. So it takes 110 controls and turns them into 650. So when we get here, standards, requirements, and assessment, at this point, as you see here, it says 220. There's no longer 3.1.1a, it's 3.1.1. 120 will be down to about 108, 109, depending on where we're at with all of our documentation. Our uploads will be done with the NIST part of the standards and controls and be doing strictly the CMMC at that point. And we'll be going through and verifying every single detail. So all of 3.1.1. We will import all of our results, which is very easy to do. Basically, you take out your RBA and you take out your controls assessment and you bring it down into your requirements assessment. You imported all your information and you verify that it's there. Let's say, for example, we come to files and we have like 7 files related to limited access to authorized users. We can delete all of those that are unnecessary at that point and just have the maybe 2 or 3 files that we really need for it. We'll use the comments section to go through and basically just give a high level 30,000 foot overview as to why those documents are there and how they help us meet the controls. This will help dramatically with the C3PAO assessment because instead of having to sit there and explain each step of the way, it's already right there for them to see. This requirements assessment tab is perfect for the C3PAO. They'll be able to walk in, sit down, and go to any question they have. Let's say they have a question on 3.3.3. So you can go to 3.3.3. Those will be highlighted then, I promise. You go to 3.3.3 and they're like, okay, we want to know, how does your event review happen? You'll have a comment here explaining it. You'll have your files here. They can easily just click in there, view all your files, because here it says add files. Once you have files added, you can download them and view them instantly. So it creates your digital copy of your CMMC proof and standards that are required for each individual requirement. Plan of action milestone. Anything we've left no. From anything above here, from RBA down to controls, requirements, or even a technical review, no, or Azure AD issues. We can generate a plan of action milestone. This is mainly focused around clients who are going for self-assessments. So if you're going for a CMMC level 2, a 2.0 self-assessment, you get like 90% of the controls complete, but those other 10%, you're like, we're just not doing them right now. While I don't recommend that, if that is the case, we can generate a plan of action milestone, basically saying in the next 6 months, 1 year, or 3 years, we will have all this item done, this item done, this item done. Each tab and each control has varying lengths that it can be done for, preset by this application. I don't know them all off the top of my head, but it's very easy to go through once you're there. Now, if you pass your self-assessment, you will need to upload the plan of action milestone that you generate here if you do not meet 100% of the requirements. You cannot pass a second self-assessment without meeting 100% based on your plan of action milestone report. Very important to keep in mind. In our results and evidence tabs, this right here is just like a high-level compilation of everything that we've done. It's not very organized in here. It's not meant to be organized. It's just throwing everything in here if somebody wants to quickly search for something instead of going to the actual technical control review of it. Inside of the employee portal, haven't used it too much. PJ Networks offers a much better product. This is like if you were going to do your training for your employees in here, if you were going to have them view their policies, the policies that you guys have created in here. My recommendation is PJ Networks offers another software that works just as well and actually better than this, and it keeps things in a workflow fashion where not everybody's inside of the compliance portal and we're not trying to super limit access to multiple people.
But that would mean that if a client wanted to have their training be directly interacting with the compliance portal, they could go for that option. We could offer that to them.
Yes, we could, 100%.
Okay.
So here in schedules, I love to explain this tab to clients. This is my favorite tab. Say we know that we do work on Thursday afternoons and we do work on Monday afternoons. All right. So what I like to do is I like to do a Wednesday reminder as well. Say we start work every Monday and Thursday at 2 p.m. So an hour before we start work, you can have it set up to get an email about any of your my work that is outstanding. So this is anything that has been assigned to you throughout the RBA, throughout the controls assessment, or throughout the requirements assessment. Say a task comes up and you're tasked with talking to the CEO to get a signed policy. And it's Monday at 1 o'clock and you've had a great weekend this past weekend, you forgot to do it. Hey, that's all right. That happens to all of us. Well, now you're going to get an email right here. And it's going to say, all right, Monday at 1 o'clock, I'm emailing you, reminding you that you have my work to get done. It's a daily my work digest email that gets sent out. You're going to be like, oh, yes, I did have my work to do. You're going to Finance Manager, you're going to go to my work. It's going to populate right here. You're going to be like, wow, okay, I got to get that done right now. I can go get a signature. Or I can't do that today, but I have it reminded to do it Wednesday and Thursday because the next time we meet.
So I'm seeing two potential huge benefits of the scheduling part, which is one, it's a way to, if an organization is large enough to have assigned a number of individuals, let's say a handful or more of individuals on a team, and broken out the individual controls, it's an much easier way to manage how each individual is progressing. But it sounds like it's also a good way to keep PJ Networks in the loop so that we know a reminder to us of what our tasks are still to get done and to pull us back together as part of that compliance team with the client. Is that a correct judgment or assessment of that?
Yes, that is very correct. And like I tell every client, if you want to work on this on your own time at night, in the morning, during the day, you have a free hour on a Friday, and you log in and start working on it and you assign things to me, I'm going to get an email. I keep my emails on for it every day. So whether I get it that day or the next day, I'll know that I have my work assigned to me. And don't feel like you are only forced to do this when I'm around. If you want to take the time to progress this on your own and assign tasks, like let's say you go to the rapid baseline assessment and you're on like question 30 and you're like, I have no idea what this means, right? You can instantly just select my name and it'll say assigned by your name and I'll know, okay, Jen assigned me to go take care of this. I'll go do it. And that just pre-authorizes me to go get that done. And it also pre-authorizes you to go get a policy done if I have assigned something to you saying, hey, the technical aspect is done here, just need a policy.
Excellent. Do you think that covers it all pretty well? A good overview of the
Yeah, I
compliance
think it's a
portal?
great, yeah, I think it's a great high level overview. And yeah,
How do you think having access to this, not just for us, but for our clients, has impacted our ability to knock out these engagements in a straightforward and orderly fashion?
I think it's taken it to literally the next level. Trying to track everything on a spreadsheet just gets confusing. You sometimes you just forget where you left off. You forget where you're at. You know, we're human. We all have these issues. No matter how greatly detailed your notes are, you're still going to forget something. In here, it makes it very streamlined and easy. If I leave, I'm logged in on my session. I'm in the RBA. I leave off on question 4. The next time I log back into the RBA, if somebody else progressed it to question 30, that does not matter. For me, I'm going right back to question 4. I
Okay.
would have to jump ahead to question 30. Everything right where you left off. You don't have to worry about forgetting anything. You have comment section there. Use it. You can type a book in there, and that's okay. You can upload any files you want to upload anywhere. Do that. If you leave off on 3, 4, 5, and you have a huge Word document you've been working on from the last like 15 controls, it's okay to throw it in there if you're afraid you're going to lose it over the next week. I'm not going to like that. Having things in places doesn't matter until you get down to the requirements assessment, and we'll be deleting any unneeded documents anyway. So it's a very easy way for everybody to stay on the same page for full integration and workflows to be parallel with each other and actually get done in a proper and effective manner.
Excellent. Well, thank you. That was a very clear and straightforward and concise overview of our compliance portal. Any client who's currently getting engagements or signing up with us will be working to some capacity with Matthew, but we have 4 other members of our compliance team. So clients don't always interact with them as much as Matthew, but I want to assure everybody that we do have a complete team that's working with him, either in the forefront or in the background, and they make sure that if Matthew takes vacation or has any personal time, everything keeps moving forward. So Matthew, unless you have any other comments before I close things out, thank you very much. Anything else to say?
No, that's it. Hopefully, I get to see you guys all real soon with doing CMMC work.
All right. Thank you, Matthew, and God bless.